Would you like to know more?
Okay, so here's my setup. I've got an Anycubic Photon Mono and a wash and cure station. Even though I ordered them for delivery to the UK, obviously they come with EU plugs, both of them. So that's not something that's unusual to Anycubic. If I can be asked, I'll contact customer service and they'll probably send me a couple of plugs or whatever, but it doesn't change this. It doesn't give me any way of using them now, apart from the fact that this is not my first rodeo. So I have some that I've had from previous bits of kit, like my my compression chamber and my for resin printing that I bought ages ago. I didn't have one either. They came with an EU plug, so I needed this thing. So the other thing I got in the deal was some basic. I mean, don't worry about the thing, it says basic. I think basic is still like 40 quid a kilo. Basic clear. And then what that did is, when I was reading the back here, it says suggested using temperature, so operating temperature, 25 to 30 degrees. Now, my kit, my stuff is set up in the garage. And we'll have a little look at the thermometer here and we'll see we are a country mile away from that. So 25 degrees, what's that? It's got to be 80, hasn't it? It's got to be 80. And we're down at 53 degrees Fahrenheit. So good news for me. So I guess to do my test prints at least, I'm going to have to take it indoors, which I didn't want to do because I've been told that this stuff stinks. So I created a space here in my garage for this kit, and at the moment it's going to have to go indoors. So I'm going to set it up tonight. The print bed's there. And the resin bed, resin bay, resin bath, whatever it's called. So I'm going to set it up tonight. I'm going to have to take it into the kitchen. I get moaned at by my wife because it's going to make the house stink. And then I'm going to have to come up with an ingenious solution to either A, heat the garage, which is impossible because it's a double garage with a single skin of bricks and two big garage doors. It's never going to get to the right temperature in winter in the UK. So I'm going to have to find a way of adapting. The cure station doesn't matter, the wash and cure station. I don't think temperature is important there. But for this fella here, I'm gonna, because I have a bearded dragon, I have access to some ceramic bulbs, which are just heat bulbs, and also some thermostatic kit. So I'm gonna try and find a way of getting that stuff mounted inside my printer, and then it will be able to, I'll be able to turn it on and it'll be able to prep the resin and the printer to whatever it needs, 25 degrees centigrade. So that's interesting. That was something I didn't plan, but it's all a learning curve, and I'm sure we'll get past this, and I'm sure we'll get some lovely prints eventually. But this is the first video. I'll do an introduction before this that you'll see, and then I will come back and tell you how I'm getting on. I won't bother showing you the leveling process and stuff. There's many videos that show you how to level stuff. All we're interested in is anything I come across that I didn't know about. Like the fact that this resin has a quite sensitive working temperature, and the reason for that is something called viscosity. So viscosity is, if you can imagine the difference between warm honey and set honey, or cold honey, then the warm honey runs like water almost, and the set honey is very difficult to get out. You have to kind of spoon it out. And the same happens with this apparently. So if it gets cold, it changes viscosity, and that changes the way it behaves when you print. So that's something I'm going to have to find a workaround in. Okay, so first day, first print. I did the test print, which came loaded on the USB that you get with your little Anycubic Photon. And it took about 4 hours, which I'm not sure it was calibrated properly. I think maybe the layer height, there was 1500 layers, and I think it was taking more than the 2 seconds that this one can run at per layer. So it looks like it came out all right, you know. I cleaned it up, and there is a flaw that I'll show you in a second. I cleaned it up and cured it and stuff. But here you go, here's the flaw. It's quite hard to see. It looks like all the material's printed, but for some reason it didn't adhere to the the previous bit, so it's kind of fallen away. So it's just like one square hasn't fallen. It was printing from the top down, so this way, and when it got to this area here, for some reason they just didn't attach. So it's a nice little Anycubic block. I don't think that failure is going to scare me overly, as everything else seems to have printed well. So I got it leveled up right enough. So I'll speak to my friends who are a little bit ahead of me on this and also use a Photon, and I'll see if they can give me any guidance, and we'll have a proper go at something non-test print later on today. So I'm just going to talk over yesterday's print now. I've got my proper camera and mic set up. So this was the Anycubic test print. I'm a bit close up so you can't see that much of it in one frame. But what I will do is show you the fail area, which is here. I'm pretty sure the reason this failed is because when I received my printer, in the rush that everybody always has to get stuff running, I didn't spend enough time cleaning out the resin tank. I saw there were bits of fluff and plastic debris in there, and I just gave it a good blow and used some towel, but obviously I didn't, paper towel, and obviously I didn't do well enough because this looks like a little bit of the black plastic that the resin tank's made out of, that caused this area to fail and drop away, I guess, because that's about the size of 1 pixel, I reckon. So that stopped it adhering, and that caused it to fail. But as I think I said yesterday, apart from over curing this, which the machine runs for 6 minutes, so obviously I stuck it on for 6 minutes, even though the increments are 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and that was probably too much, in all honesty. But I'll put this on the end of the first video, and yeah, everything's going well.